I don't know about you, but I'm really, really effing sick of the woke police, and I wish they'd just do their goddamn jobs. Because it's a public embarrassment on a daily basis in this country. And the thing is, the people running the police are in favor of this state of affairs.
100%.
I hate it.
I
hate it so
We've covered
much.
this endlessly, but it just never gets better.
No, and we're going to go through the Lincoln Police Chief's justification for why the police of diversity and inclusion should be doing the Macarena in the street. And it's just really insufferable. But anyway, if you want to support us, go to lotus.com and check out this new premium video, The Politics of Fight Club, in which Harry and Josh talk about what Fight Club is about under the surface. It's really, really good analysis. Definitely recommend it. Anyway, so let's begin with, I mean, this has been going on for years, but let's begin just last year in 2021 when the Met was like, oh, we're going to have gender neutral uniforms, by the way. Just gender neutral. Just don't worry about it.
I mean, we end up with the police force, but we don't want to look intimidating.
Yeah, we don't want, we don't want to have non-woke signifiers of gender. Like, that's not very progressive.
No.
There could be, you don't know what that person's gender is with the rainbow flag painted on her bloody. Unironically, that's what this was about, right? Amid alleged concerns over gender-specific uniforms being in breach of the 2010 Equality Act, Britain's largest police force has reportedly launched a review into updating uniform standards to cater for so-called non-binary or gender-fluid cops. Like, it's not. I'm not joking that this is just woke BS. And of course, right. So the police go woke, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, we're racist." It's like, yeah, are you? That's good. Okay. And ironically, they call themselves institutionally racist, right? This was a part of a plan that will supposedly make policing anti-racist in Britain. Now, we know what that means. There's a communist police force. There's a woke communist police force. Because they think that the leaders of the police force think that not being woke is hurting their crime-fighting capability. What crime-fighting capability? The police solve crimes? When? There was a report the other day, I think I forgot to include it in this, where in one town, like, not one burglary was resolved.
No. It's just not worth them doing anymore.
No.
Because it's not their job anymore.
No.
According to themselves. The public still think it's their job.
Yeah, the police have decided that's not really our job. So I don't know what they're talking about there. But Ambimola Johnson, the barrister in charge of the Independent Police Oversight Board, said that the declaration is needed if radical reforms are to be believed by so-called BAME communities. I don't really want radical reforms to the police. I just want them to catch cops, catch villains.
I'd like them to relive the old institution, perhaps.
Well, yeah, bring back the Constable.
To actually be a police force. But instead, the radical reforms into being yet more useless. Like, not being useful at upholding the law or even enforcing the law. God forbid.
Or even caring about such a thing. I mean, no. We're here to patrol Twitter for mean comments. She said, the plan needs to accept institutional racism if it is to be anti-racist. If the idea is to win the trust of black communities, policing needs to start by acknowledging both the historical and current manifestations of racism in policing. I mean, I'm sure that in the middle of the machete fight, she was like, excuse me, how do you guys trust the police? Like, oh, I hate cops.
Oh, I'll jot that down.
Yeah, exactly. Well, how can we get your faith? So anyway, this is not going unobserved by ex-police officers and veterans of the force. Norman Brennan had been a police officer for 31 years. When he joined the force, he was like, well, we didn't paint our faces or have multicolored police cars. That's because you joined when we were a serious country, before we've been conquered by intersectionality. Modern officers are too woke, and this is causing the public to lose faith in the police. Lost faith. Sorry, it's a bit late for this. He says, when I joined the police service, we engaged with the public. We didn't need to paint our faces. We didn't need to have multicolored police cars and keep banging on about our sexuality like so many senior police officers do. What we did is engage with the public. When we walked the beat, we interacted with them, shared information, we supported them, we protected them, and then when they gave us information of those that committed a crime, we arrested them. God, this is like dispatches from ancient history, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can't even imagine Bobby's walking around just keeping the peace and like being given information about criminals and then following it up and arresting people. It just doesn't happen.
Well, by the point, they'd missed their meetings on diversity and inclusion this month.
Well, that's exactly what he says. The sad reality nowadays, with all the prancing about and TikToking, let's be honest about it, gay pride and the rest, it is not impartial. And that's exactly the point. And so this leads us to the latest viral example of the police being an absolute disgrace, which is a bunch of soy boys and women doing the Macarena at a Pride festival in Lincoln. It's just humiliating.
Yeah, I know some people will be thinking, it's just a dance, who cares? And it's like, well,
I care.
They shouldn't be at Pride. We all know this is an intersectional movement rather than a gay acceptance movement.
Yeah.
Long has been. And in which case, okay, politically you shouldn't be there. The fact that this is where you spend your time there, instead of, keeping face or informing people about the role the police does, no.
There is a certain level of dignity required for the office if you wish the public to respect you. Right? And this is what Norman Brennan was talking about previously. This level of decorum, this dignity, this projection of good faith, impartiality, neutrality, and trustworthiness, not self-indulgence, because that's what this is.
But all of that stuff leads up to giving off the impression, and rightfully if it's done well, that you actually have it, competence. That you're a competent force that will competently carry out the job you are tasked with.
Yes.
And instead, not only do we get the impression that they're not competent in the slightest from all this kind of stuff, they aren't either. I mean, I met a chap when I was in Afghanistan who was telling me about his long history in the police force, and they got to the point where they were just signing off on firearms officers because they were black or women. They weren't competent. They hadn't actually passed the levels of standards to be a competent firearms officer, and probably would end up getting some civilian killed.
Yeah.
But diversity and inclusion.
Yeah, which is exactly how these guys obviously became police officers. Because look at them. Like, this is a humiliation, and they don't even realize they're humiliating themselves. Like, no one thinks that these people are competent. No one's going to run to, there's a crime being committed. Don't ask them. They're likely as not to cry about it as you are. Like, look at this. I just can't stand seeing this. This is a disgrace. It should never have been. It should never happen. Now, I don't necessarily even blame these officers either, quote unquote. Isn't it just like they're LARPing as police?
But this is what I mean when I came back, and I don't really respect the place because I mean this isn't a police force.
No,
I mean, just in no regard is this something you would say you would be respectful of because it is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
Instead, it is just a comedic group of people who dress up.
It's a self-indulgent group of LARPers who are having fun when they're being paid by the taxpayer to protect them. Right? This is not what they're supposed to be for, right? But again, I don't really blame them specifically
the whole system.
It comes from the very top, right? This is what Chief Constable Chris Howard of the Lincolnshire Police had to say. Lincolnshire police officers are at Pride to make sure that everyone attending experiences a safe and happy event. Lincoln Pride is a celebration.
How do they do that? Right, if you actually wanted a police
Macarena.
force, what would you do to do that? Well, you check bags, maybe you check out anyone who's suspicious or anything, patrol the area.
You'd be dancing the Macarena.
Dealing with any drugs that might be present. No, you just join in with the celebrations.
Drugs present at such an event, how could you besmirch the good honour of Pride?
Yeah, funnily enough, I don't think there were no drugs.
Well, he says that Pride is a celebration of inclusivity and representation within the LGBTQ plus community. And as Lincolnshire Police, we were there to support them and build confidence in our service.
Sorry, because everyone believes that the police of vice and virtue are not pro-LGBT. Yeah. No one had any idea until you turned up at Lincoln Pride. I mean, genuinely, we thought you just killed gay people on the side. But now we know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just disgusting. So he says this. I expect my officers and staff to engage with people attending Pride, to chat, to laugh, to join in and even dance. And where it is appropriate to do so and that does not detract from their duties.
Yeah, it does detract from their duties.
Yeah, exactly. There is no circumstance where this isn't detracting from their duties. So the chief officer's just like, yeah, go dance. Well, you're not on duty or anything, are they? Why shouldn't they just go and dance? Maybe they'll take some LSD or something. Who knows? Who cares?
I expect officers to engage in this year's winter solstice. Just take the drugs at Stonehenge.
Yeah, exactly. Like hippie leftists are running the Lincoln Police. It's like, this is disgusting in every way, shape, or form, right? And then, right, he says this. We want everyone attending Lincoln Pride to know that we are there for them and that our service to Lincolnshire communities is truly inclusive. We aim to treat every member of the public we serve with fairness and impartiality. It's not impartial when you've got a rainbow flag painted on your face and you're dancing in the Pride Parade. I mean, that's a lack of impartiality.
Do you think this guy is just genuinely dense or is sort of laughing in your face at this point? Like, they must know about the divide in the country There's obviously between people who are intersectional and those who aren't.
I think they've been brainwashed. I think they've been inculcated into the woke cult.
Just
And
NPC speak.
Yeah, and now they're just programmed NPCs, and they're like, this is good. Pride is good. Therefore, police officers dancing in pride must also be good.
Yeah, being a member of the Communist Party is for tolerance. Yeah, we killed all the rioters, but that's for tolerance.
Yeah, well, exactly, right. Imagine being like, we want the public to know that we serve with fairness and impartiality. What if like Tommy Robinson or something goes up? He's like, okay, well, a bunch of people burgled my house. They're gonna be like, well, get right on that, you effing racist. Like that's what you'd expect to hear. It's insufferable, right? And so a spokesman for the Lincoln Police also came out and said, oh, actually, we're proud of this. We go to the next one, right? Another spokesman said, we don't always get it right, but if 4 minutes of dancing gets some folks hot under the collar, it's worth it to build trust with those who have had a good reason to distrust the police in the past. Can we just go back to the tweet with the video of, right, look at this middle-class white gathering. Are these police distrusters, are they?
Also, hang on, there's just loads of kids.
Yeah.
Like, at what decade was there, let's say, distrust between the alphabet community and the police? And if you pick the decade, were any of these people born in it? Were any of these people even alive?
No. All of these people are post-Tony Blair. These are not the people who historically distrusted the police. But anyway, right?
So what about the people who distrust the police now? Like us?
Don't care.
Like non-intersectionals don't trust the police because you are an ideological force.
Yeah, but you're not inclusive, Callum.
Oh, sorry.
And therefore you're
NPC
not,
speak, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Therefore, you're not included. Anyway, going back to that other one, he says, we are more proud of how we serve Lincolnshire now than when he joined the police force 25 years ago. Okay. Well, we are very different people because I'm way more ashamed to be British with this going on. And so they've received lots of comments, but only a minority that were in objection were from, quote, rural Lincolnshire residents who didn't agree. Oh, it's those stupid backwater rurals. We big city folk know so much better than you primitive throwbacks. You've got to understand.
That's just gross.
It is disgusting, isn't it? But and then obviously a bunch of retards on the internet were like, "Oh, good on them. What's the harm? What's the So like the local Lincolnshire websites, if you can go to the next one, like put up a thing saying, "Well, Lincolnshire Live it was like readers say this is good." It's like, yeah, but they're also retards who live in Lincoln. Which one? Like, are the people in the rural areas being like, "Oh yeah, this is great"? No, you already know they're not. Right, but like, yeah, so, they're basically going, well, what's wrong with them having a little fun for possibly 5 minutes and engaging with the public? And it's because it devalues the dignity of the office, you pleb. You aren't being paid to have fun. You're not being paid to debase the position. But anyway, right? And it's not like Lincoln has no problems. Right? Obviously, Lincoln has problems.
Really?
But, oh, yeah, massive drug problem.
I assume everything was solved.
Massive heroin problem, according to one judge, anyway. What does this judge know about the massive heroin problem? And obviously, you get people like getting, assaulted in the streets in Lincoln. If you go to the next one, just this guy, life-threatening injuries, Lincoln High Street, the other day, like literally 2 days ago. Just normal.
Yeah, but was he at Pride or not? I mean, if not, who cares?
He was not at Pride, and he is a white man.
Wow.
So does it matter, is the question. And, of course, the police in Britain have been a public embarrassment for years now. This is from 2017. Do you remember the furry, high-heel-wearing police?
I remember when the police had dogs on chains, and the dogs were humans in costumes.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I hate this country so much. Mick Neville, a retired senior Scotland Yard detective, told the Daily Mail they have forgotten what their purpose is. So, yep, they have. Too many modern chief constables have got more degrees under their belts than arrests. The people in charge have simply not done the job. The reason they do not investigate crimes is they've never done it themselves. They are looking for cheap wins. Yes, indeed. And I thought we'd end this by just having a look at what the police actually used to be like. Like, 100 years ago. It was like 70 years ago, I think this one is. But look, respectable. Actually a respectable police force.
Yeah, you don't even have to go that far back.
No, you don't.
I mean, I
thought we would because it would look good.
Yeah, because it does look the best. But even the footage I've sent to you in the past, I sent Carl some footage of, it was the 1970s. There was some Communist Party demonstration in London, and they were given an assigned route, and they didn't go on the assigned route and broke off. So the police just came out and just beat the crap out of them until they went back on the assigned route.
Absolutely.
And the police looked unbelievably based. And again, it's very similar uniform to this. Similar presence of, we're here to do our job. May not like the communists, but as long as they're on the assigned route, that's perfectly fine.
And then, so I think that's 50 years ago. And then the next one is 100 years ago. And this is just, isn't it just so wholesome? Cop like manhandling some kids who are being naughty. But again, respectable police. We used to have respectable police in this country, and now we have woke globalist police.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers, and if you appreciated that segment from the podcast The Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content we have on the site, such as the Epoch series, this one on A Bridge Too Far, Part 3. And to find out what else we're putting out, you can follow us on Getter at lotuseaters_com on Getter. Thank you and goodbye.